Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Stacy King, and I manage the Commuter Choice program through the Maryland Department of Transportation. And we're so excited to co-host today's webinar with Laura Armstrong, the Director of Sustainability for the Maryland Department of the Environment. Welcome, Laura. Today's session is being recorded, so in about a day or so, you'll have access to the recording link, and we'll share the PowerPoint slide too, which has some good links in it for you to refer back to. We'll also take questions at the end, so you can feel free to drop your questions in the chat if you have them, but we really want to open up the microphones and give everybody a chance to have some good dialogue. So please stick around and do that. I'm going to get us started off. Laura and I are going to tag team on this webinar and talk to you about the Maryland Green Registry Commuter Choice Challenge. I'm going to take the first part and actually talk about the Commuter Choice Challenge and the components of it and how your organization can check some of the boxes to win the challenge. And then Laura is going to talk about the Maryland Green Registry program itself. Let's see if I can advance my slides. Here we go. All right, so we're going to talk about how you can win this thing. I will first just give a little bit of a background to Commuter Choice Maryland, and then we're going to break down all these check boxes for the Commuter Choice Challenge and help you see which ones are really super easy for your organization to check off the list. And then we'll also give you some resources to help your organization reach their goals. So for anyone who is unfamiliar, Commuter Choice Maryland is a free program we run through the Maryland Department of Transportation. We have a number of goals, but one of our biggest functions is to work with the employers in Maryland to help them develop or expand their commuter programs. We're also out in the public all the time, connecting with individual commuters and helping people understand resources available to them and commuter and transportation options. We administer a few statewide commuting incentives, which I'll touch on in the slides ahead. And we share a lot of information, so through our social media and website and newsletters, things like that. And I just want to emphasize that Commuter Choice Maryland is a statewide program, but we do work collaboratively very closely with about 15 specialists who all run commuter programs in Baltimore City and all the counties, everything that is shaded in color on the map. We have wonderful dedicated teams that are available to help your organization. So a little bit of why we do what we do. So commuting really has taken its place in the news headlines on and off over the years. I think especially in the last few years with the COVID-19 pandemic, we've really seen the act of commuting elevated and the influence that it has on individual decisions and employers' recruitment and retention strategies. So this really does have an impact on the workforce, but also perhaps maybe of more interest to this particular audience today is that we also understand that transportation has a decent slice of the pie when it comes to greenhouse gas emissions, and of that slice, things like passenger vehicles can take up a big chunk of it. So anything that we can do to reduce the number of vehicle trips that are taken by drive-alone commuters, maybe combining folks into cars, getting people onto transit, onto bikes, maybe walking or avoiding the trip altogether by teleworking and things like that. That all contributes to local and regional environmental and air quality. So if you have Scope 3 or climate action plans within your organization, this is a wonderful tie-in. So what is the Commuter Choice Challenge? This is a challenge through the Maryland Green Registry program. So it's open to Maryland Green Registry members, and the challenge itself offers you 16 opportunities for your organization to enter. All you have to do is check one of the boxes to be in the challenge and the prize drawing that goes with it. But if you can check 2 to 5 boxes, you get 2 entries into the contest, and if you can check 6 or more boxes, then you get 3 entries into the prize drawing. And the things that we're putting together for the organizations that will win are going to range from cycling gear, maybe some work from home accessories, maybe just some good like commute-worthy swag for you to share within your organization. So to enter, you're going to go to green.maryland.gov and click on the contest link. That's where you actually get to the challenge. And just a reminder that the deadline is June 1st. So I'm going to break down all these check boxes for you that are in the challenge. Totally subjective to my opinion. I have categorized them into easiest, easier, and easy-ish options. So I'm just going to touch on them all very quickly. The easiest check boxes that your organization can check are probably things that you're either already doing or things that you could implement by like the end of this week. So starting off with the very basic things like promoting commuting options to your employees. So that's things like adding stuff into your new employee orientation packet. If you have information on a webinar on your intranet site, if you're handing out have flyers or anything like that, or digital screen information, you check that box right away. Promoting Incentrip is another easy one. So Incentrip is an app that's available. It's free and it's available statewide. So we actually oversee the statewide implementation of Incentrip. What it does is it gives commuters gives them commuting options when looking at different ways they can take their trip. It also assigns points to the commute trip, which can then they accumulate and they can redeem them for cash and other rewards after a little while. So another easy one to do. Promoting other transportation options like bike share and scooter share, especially with some of the dockless options. There might be things right outside your front door now that you can promote. And similarly, carpool and vanpool matching. There are a couple of great platforms out there that you can direct your employees towards to find potential ride matches to work. Becoming an employer partner is also a really easy box to check. This is a free program that we administer through Commuter Choice, and it's a way for us to help. If you're having any difficulty, you want a little bit of help getting a program going or expanding, you go to our website and fill out a very brief form. It takes 4 minutes, and that helps us understand, getting that conversation started about what kind of support we can offer. It also serves as a recognition platform. So if you're already doing some things to have your commuter program in place, become an employer partner too, so that way we can celebrate that. We'll put your information on our website, write a case study, give you time on a webinar. These are things we want to celebrate and recognize your leadership in developing a commuter program. Another actually very easy thing is to implement tax-free commuter benefits. So for anyone who's unaware, the IRS does allow, under the Transportation Fringe Benefits Program, employers may offer tax-free commuter benefits. This year it's $300 per month per employee for transit and van pulling, and also qualified commuter-related parking. So the reason I put this into the easiest category is, number one, employers don't have to provide a subsidy. You can set this up as a pre-tax payroll deduction, but also there are a lot of turnkey solutions, a lot of turnkey platforms that can help you get this up and going pretty quickly. So WMATA has a free smart benefits platform, but a lot of third-party benefits administrators also will administer a transportation fringe benefit. So if you are already using one of those companies, they can probably just do this for you. So we have some of the easier boxes, which may be easy for some of you out there, not everyone. So we have things on the list like telework and compressed work week. There's a likelihood that many of you have implemented a telework program in the last few years, but we recognize that not every position and not every organization is necessarily suitable for telework. There's also Guaranteed Ride Home. So this is a free program that employees can sign up for, and they get 6 free rides home per year from work for emergency situations. Guaranteed Ride Home is not available statewide though, so if you're not in the service area for it, you can start your own program, and that's why we put this in the not necessarily easiest box, because it might require a little bit more of an effort from you depending on where you are in the state. So things like providing preferential carpool and vanpool parking, and amenities for cyclists like lockers and bike parking. These are really great perks for your commuters and a great part of a commuter benefits program. But again, we recognize if you don't have control over your space in that way, then it may not be that easy for everyone to do. And last on this list are offering commuter subsidies and claiming the Maryland commuter tax credit. So this, again, requires a little bit more of an input from employers for, actually funding a subsidy, providing a subsidy for employees. But the great thing about the Maryland Commuter Tax Credit is that it was expanded last year, and it addresses pretty much any non-drive alone option now. So all the options on the right-hand side of the screen there, if you are providing a subsidy to your employee for any of these things, depending on where you fall in the tax code as an organization, you're probably going to be able to claim back half of that money. And so it's, great perk, great incentive, but it does require, an employer to put some money into that program. So then we have the easy-ish boxes, which, really may not be easy at all for you, but so that's things like installing showers. Again, if you don't control your space, it's also a more expensive investment typically. So not always an option for everyone. Providing employee commuter shuttles. This is great, really solves what we call the first mile, last mile challenge. But again, a pretty heavy investment financially to get a shuttle program going. Great if you can share that resource with other employers, but it's just not the easiest thing to get going. And also locating your business near public transit. So you may be familiar with the concept of transit-oriented development or hear TOD a lot. But if your business is not located near public transit currently, if transit's not coming to you, and if you're not going to relocate anytime soon, then that's just not a box you would check in this challenge. So that's a very quick overview of the different boxes that you can check. I believe there's also a wildcard option on there. So if you have other things that you want to talk about, you can share it. But just wanted to point you towards some of the free resources that we have. So if you go to commuterchoicemaryland.com, and click on our resources tab, you're going to find things like free toolkits. You'll find links to programs or to resources like the park and ride lot map that's available throughout Maryland, the free employer partner program, and the Maryland Commuter Tax Credit. And then we always try to keep, relevant information going on the site too. So right now, it's May, it's Bike Month. We are promoting Bike to Work Day, which is happening in the DC area, and Bike to Work Week, which is happening in Central Maryland. So please, give those a look. But really, the biggest resource that all of you have is all of our collective team between the Commuter Choice team and all of our dedicated transportation commuter specialists throughout Maryland. We're really here to help you and be your resource and be your support. All of the work that we do is free, so please take advantage of this awesome opportunity that you have to let us help you build something really great for your organization. There's my contact information. Also, please give us a follow on LinkedIn and Facebook if you just want to sort of passively get some information from us. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Laura now.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Armstrong with the Maryland Department of the Environment. I manage a program called the Maryland Green Registry, among other things. And I would love to know if there are folks on this call that are already members of the Maryland Green Registry. I actually am not seeing a full attendee list. So if we have any members and you want to hop on chat and say, hey, here's who I work with and who I work for, and whether you're a member, that would be great. And thank you, Stacy, for that presentation. I've always thought that sometimes the difference between doing something and not doing something, particularly if it's new, is talking to someone. There is nothing like a conversation with someone who fleshes something out and makes it seem real. And so you have that available to you on all those different commute options and programs just by giving Stacy a ring, because now you met her. So pick up the phone, email, and I'll say that for myself as well. Anything I talk about today, don't waste time spinning your wheels on any of it. Just reach out and I'm happy to fill in information for you. So this commuter challenge that we've set up is running just until June 1st. And to submit for it, you have to be a member of the Maryland Green Registry. However, if this commuter challenge is not for you or you don't have the time for it in the next couple weeks, please know that we would welcome you into the Maryland Green Registry anytime. You can apply at any time during the year. And it is a free program as well. And it was launched almost 15 years ago as a way really to give voice to what's happening in businesses and organizations across the state, to provide an outlet and a public forum for sharing these practices so that others can see them and be motivated by them, and then connect back with the company doing them to learn more about that practice and what vendors they worked with and so on. So we're now at about 600 members. They include businesses from mom and pop organizations or home-based businesses, all the way up to the largest employers of the state, higher education, local government, nonprofits, churches, you name it. It is the broad spectrum. And the practices they share are very practical. And I think you'll see by reading some of the member profiles, some of the pretty impressive results they've achieved from that. And yes, it's true, a lot of organizations have sustainability reports or doing ESG reporting, but you have to know that and you have to go to their website. Sometimes it's hard to find that report. Sometimes that report is very long and very technical. And what the Maryland Green Registry is trying to do is condense that into an easily, quickly readable format. Stacy, if you want to advance the slide. So why should you join? Well, to be seen, to, as I said, to bring your story out of the woodwork into a single site where it can be seen with hundreds of other profiles. So it's not lost on those back pages of your website. And you may not have the time or bandwidth to get your story out there. And that's what the Maryland Green Registry is for. And as I'll talk about in a minute, you have a member profile, and that member profile goes up. It's your story in your words, and it gets seen. It has a .gov URL web address, which in search engines is a priority URL that gets lifted above others. So I have companies tell me I get seen more through my Maryland Green Registry profile than I do through our own website. So it's really a way of getting your story out there. And then we try to give you things that might be useful to you. A window decal, if you are a customer-facing business and have people coming through your door, you're able to use the logo on any of your promotional materials, website, business cards. We want that to direct people back to the website and to your member profile where they can learn more about what you're doing. The other big thing, and this is the other part of my job, and really the bigger part of my job, which is technical assistance. We bring in federal funding to provide on-site technical assistance to businesses. And like grants, it comes and goes. But when we push that out there, it's the Maryland Green Registry members who usually hear about it first. So if we're doing something for food processors, we'll get that out through a variety of means in social media, broadcast it widely, but it also goes out to the Maryland Green Registry members through newsletters. There are about 6 or 7 newsletters a year, and they're usually very quick to jump upon those opportunities. And then there's softer technical assistance, which is just contacting us for, checklists for your type of industry, vendor information, case studies, that sort of thing, which is easy to provide you. We have a LinkedIn group where you can communicate with all the members. You don't have to go through me. We have annual contests like the one we're talking about today, the Commuter Choice Challenge. We do member spotlights, so we'll pick up a couple practices you're doing, put that in a social media friendly graphic, which we get out through state social media, but then you can also, we hope, get it out through your social media networks. And then finally, we also have an annual awards event where we recognize businesses that are achieving significant results through sustainable practices and have in place a commitment to continual improvement. If you advance the slide, Stacy, we are just finished our application period for that during the month of April. So we'll be announcing those awards soon. So how do you join? You have to have something in Maryland, some brick and mortar presence in Maryland. Even if it's a home-based business, that applies, but you have to have a Maryland presence. And we're looking for you to share at least 5 environmental practices, we hope many more, that relate to the operation of your business and your facility. So this is a facility-based program. You can talk about your environmental services and products, but for your profile, you're going to be talking about your operations. We want to promote a culture of measurement. And so we ask for at least one measurable result related to one of these practices, but we hope there will be many more than one. And we want you to commit to continuously improve. In other words, we have organizations coming in from all points in the sustainability journey, from just dipping their toes in it to very sophisticated, long-standing sustainability programs with dedicated environmental staff. The registry is open to all. And then, as a sign of that continual improvement, we'd like you to update your profile whenever you have new practices or results to share, hopefully annually. Hopefully you have annual environmental goals, but no less frequently than every 3 years. So Stacy, if you want to advance. This is a condensed version. Stacy has gotten into this document. You can see she has highlighted employee commute, but it is an important part of the total carbon impact of every organization. Its employee commute is a big part of that, or some part of it. So it's a great opportunity to share what you're doing in employee commute through your Maryland Green Registry profile. I don't know how many are here, maybe 20 boxes or less. So remember, you're checking at least 5 of them. And we don't mean to confuse you on the checking of the boxes. This is for joining the registry. And earlier we were talking about the commute challenge. So these are box checking things where we're just trying to illustrate for you some of the things that you can adopt at your business. So you can see this is pretty broad ranging. Most organizations will not have a lot of difficulty checking 5 of these and providing a few sentences or even paragraphs about what they're doing. But this is also an opportunity to come back and connect with us about what more you could be doing if you're having difficulty identifying 5 practices at your business. Next slide. So that form turns into this, and you can see by the boxes, or this is a little fuzzy, so you're not probably seeing this real well on your screen, but if you go to the Maryland Green Registry members list page and pull up a profile, you'll see what the end product looks like. And you can also see the amount of information. This is pretty typical, a paragraph to a sentence or so under each of these practices. We don't want you to just check the box. What viewers of these profiles are looking for is ideas. They want to hear your voice behind this. If you put exclamation points in your description, we will leave them in. We want folks to see your enthusiasm about some practices that have worked really well for you. If you worked with a vendor, a solar installer, please put their name in. That's the kind of thing people are looking for, really concrete steps that they can take. Go to the next slide. Back to Sustainability Leadership Awards. We will have 5 winners announced June 22nd. That event is going to be held at Brookside Gardens in Montgomery County. It's welcome to all. We're doing this in partnership with One Montgomery Green. So if you go to One Montgomery Green Gala, they'll be putting registration up soon if they haven't already. We're hoping to have a discount for Maryland Green Registry members, and it'll be, I think, a beautiful evening and a beautiful place. And it's been a couple years now since we've had the awards in person, so I think we're all looking forward to connecting again. One quick note, you can see Sustainability Leadership Circle. That's another form of recognition we have for prior leadership award winners who continue to go on and achieve significant results year after year. It's a one-year designation we offer. And next slide. Every year we tabulate all the results. Remember, we're asking you to provide at least one measurable result, if not more. We tabulate those all among our membership to show people that these voluntary practices, and they are voluntary, I should make that clear. These are things that you're not doing in order to comply with environmental laws and regulations, that things you are doing beyond that to reduce your environmental footprint and to save money. And it saves money, a lot of money. That's because these tend to be resource-based issues. So you're reducing energy, water, raw material use. That's going to save you money. And it shows up in that $90 million saved. Now that's annually. That is, these are practices that are ongoing, in place and ongoing, saving that money from baseline, from before these organizations implemented that practice. So there's big numbers in here and big greenhouse gas reductions. The voluntary stuff matters. And next slide. That's me, the two most important slides, right? Mine and Stacy's contact information. Please reach out with any particular questions you have about sustainable practices for your organization, things you're super excited about and want to share. That is the point of the Maryland Green Registry. So please consider joining. The process is a quick turnaround. I always tell people, if you can't do the Maryland Green Registry application at lunchtime with a sandwich in one hand, typing with the other, that's it, maybe a little bit of exaggeration, but the point is don't overthink. Don't make it like this big term paper that you have to submit. It's just you talking to the broader audience about what you're doing. And there's plenty of opportunity after you join to expand, correct, amend, update that profile. It's a living document. So I think that's it for me, Stacy. We've got, oh gosh, we are almost at the end of the hour, but we'd love to hear questions, right?
Yeah,
if not now,
totally.
At another time.
Yep, definitely. And thank you, Laura. That was great. I really appreciate hearing about the Green Registry program and hope that we get some members. I do see in the chat, I think Howard Community College is a member, and they're on call today. So
not only are they a member, they are a former award winner.
Excellent.
So Howard Community College won the Sustainability Award last year. So come on out to Brookside Gardens so we can take a picture of you with your award. They fell into the couple of years where we didn't do events. So thanks for being on.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I'll say if anyone has any questions, feel free. You can just take yourself off of mute and just throw it out there. We'll stay on for another moment or so in case anyone does want to have any conversation. And if not, we'll just reiterate that all of the programs that you've heard about today are free. Maryland Green Registry is free to participate in. The Commuter Choice Maryland, the Commuter Choice Challenge, the services that we offer through Commuter Choice Maryland and all of our colleagues across the state, all of that is free, and it's all applicable to any employer from any industry of any size. So there is no organization that is too small or in some industry that's not everything is relevant. So we definitely encourage everyone to give these programs a look, participate, and again reach out to myself or Laura or both of us if we can help you out. So let me just check one more time. I don't think I see any new questions. So with that, we will sign off, and thank you again for joining us. We'll be back again soon with another webinar through Commuter Choice Maryland, and hope you have a great rest of the week and a happy Bike Month.
Bye, everyone.